Let's have a look at writing fractions in ascending order. Here we have 3 fractions. All of our fractions have different denominators, so it's quite tricky for us to see which is the smallest and which is the biggest, so we can write them in order from smallest to largest, or ascending order. If we could make all of their denominators the same, it would be really easy for us to compare them. Let's have a look at the denominators, 6, 3, and 12. 12 is our largest denominator, so let's see if we can write these other 2 fractions with a denominator of 12 as well. How can we turn 6 into 12? Well, we can multiply it by 2. 6 times 2 gives me 12. And when we're writing equivalent fractions, if we do something to the bottom of the fraction, we have to do it to the top as well. So I'm also timesing the top by 2. 3 out of 6, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 out of 12 is the same as 3 out of 6. So this fraction, 6 out of 12, is equivalent to 3 out of 6. And now I can see 6 out of 12 is bigger than 3 out of 12. This one already has a denominator of 12, so we can leave that as it is. And 1/3, we need to give that a denominator of 12 as well. So what can we times 3 by to get to 12? Well, I know 3 times 4 is 12. And if I do it to the bottom of the fraction, I have to do it to the top as well to keep it balanced and to get an equivalent fraction. So 1 times 4 is 4. Over 3 times 4 is 12. So now I've got 6 out of 12, 3 out of 12, and 4 out of 12. Because they all have a denominator of 12, it's really easy for me to see which is the smallest, and that's 3 out of 12. Then next I have 4 out of 12 is my next smallest one. And finally, 6 out of 12 is the largest. We can separate them with commas. But these aren't the fractions we were given. We weren't given 4 out of 12 and 6 out of 12, so we need to rewrite them in their original form. 3 out of 12 was 3 out of 12. This fraction that was equivalent to 4 out of 12, that was actually 1/3, so we rewrite that as 1/3. And this fraction that was equivalent to 6 out of 12 is actually 3 out of 6, so we rewrite that as 3 out of 6. So here are our 3 fractions in an ascending order from smallest to largest. Make sure you always remember if you do something to the bottom of a fraction, you have to do the same thing to the top to keep it equivalent.